Hey everybody, welcome back to Stable Dividends. I know it has been a while. Please don't yell at me. It has been a while. I basically just didn't want to do some videos. I didn't have a lot of content, frankly. I think a lot of people pump out content for people that are new and people that are this. Like, I'm just doing me. I hope you guys enjoy it. And then I was there a little bit where I was like honestly pretty sad because I want it to be summertime. I miss the sunshine, so took a little mental health as well. But we're back, and I owe you guys a video. So agenda. There's a couple things here. See how the portfolio is holding up. My REIT portfolio that I created in January. Two, how I rebalanced. Three, the dividends coming in, and then four, I have a sneak peek on something that I'm doing that I'm making money off of. And then five, I also have something else I wanted to show you guys. I'll show you guys pretty early on. Um, Actually, I'll show you guys right now. So what's interesting to me, this is the fifth thing on the agenda. We're going first, talk about ADD. But what's interesting on this part, we're going to go to this in a second. We're going to look at basically how the portfolio is holding up. But I remember a while ago, I don't know if you guys remember this video I put out where I put my emergency fund, right, instead of putting it into a bank, right, a savings account or a high yield savings account, I put it in the treasuries. And the reason I put it in the treasuries is because that's where Warren Buffett puts his money. That's where Alex Hormozy puts his money. And I was like, well, if those guys are putting it in there and it's a hedge against inflation, right? You always hear that it's a hedge against inflation. Well, I think those are pretty smart guys and smart thing to do. And I can't invest all my money because then if the stock market tanks, I'm probably going to lose my job in correspondence with it. So, anyways, that was my reasoning behind putting in treasuries. What's interesting is gold. Gold has outperformed this entire year, right? I mean, it's not 5 years, right, or 10 years, but look at this. Gold has outperformed even the S&P 500, just a metal that's valuable, has basically outperformed VU. And more importantly, I would not put all my money into gold, but it's more importantly outperformed BIL, which is my emergency fund, which again is a hedge against inflation. Now, as we start to go out, the gains get bigger and bigger. Gold is 15%, BIL is 5. Again, I'm not necessarily trying to make money off my emergency fund, but it is a hedge against inflation. We go to 3 years out. And this is total return, by the way. I'm so glad that I mentioned this. I don't know why I'm giving myself a pat on the back here, but there's price return. So when you look up on Google and you look up, Microsoft stock and you see the chart in Google, right? If I just type in Microsoft stock, when you do this, and I've done this too, this does not give you added dividends, right? And so when you go in here, that's what you want to do. You want to do price return? No, you want to do total return. But anyways, 27% over 8%. Interesting. Over 5 years, 80% to 10%. And this is what's interesting is that gold is also known, just like treasuries, as a hedge against inflation, but gold is almost keeping up with some of the most valuable companies in the world. Now, what was interesting right here, when 2020 happened, and this is assuming that if you bought, I guess, at this date, so, oh wow, May 10th, 2019, so literally 5 years, oh, 5 years ago. I'm a dummy. But basically, your money would have gone from about 30% to 15%. So I guess it would have been cut in half. But in general, your money still keeps going up way better than BIL. Like it keeps up with inflation. It probably beats it, which is really, really interesting. So I might do a video on this. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. But anyways, now I really want to do a video on that. Okay, anyways, back to this. Let's see. Agenda number one. Remember to see how the portfolio is holding up, how I rebalance, dividends coming in, and then a sneak peek. So year to date, I bought all these companies on let's see. Yeah, I bought them in the beginning of the year. So VNQ, we're just gonna do year to date. That's good enough. I know it starts on, I guess, January 2nd, but it's good enough. So VNQ with dividends included, because total return is going to be -6%. So let's see how we're doing against the index. So I put all of the tickers into two. I put up here, or excuse me, here and then here, but it just can't hold all of them. So, but let's see. If we're basically looking at -6, it's probably gonna be right around here. And so I'm just going to assume 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is there 10 in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 20 in here, so I definitely miscounted. But I think overall we're slightly above. And these are all the tickers just so you guys can kind of take a look. Again, some of them are down big. The smaller ones are actually doing better or positive even, which is kind of interesting. It's not all across the board or anything like that. And then this is the rest of it, because again, we can only do 20 at a time. Back all the way. All right, so there's that. There's Vici, which I see that all the time on the internet, just because they're owners in Las Vegas Strip, as you can see all the way down there. So I don't know, it's interesting. I think it's been a bit disappointing, if I'm being frank with you. I don't think we're underperforming by a crazy amount. We're definitely not overperforming by a crazy amount. I think we're somewhere in the middle, maybe 1% performing above. We're pretty much dead even, or 1% below. I don't think it's anything crazy. And again, it was a little disappointing because when I looked at all the facts and all the past performance, and of course, past performance does not equal, you know, future gains or anything, or future losses, future performance. But I thought it would be doing a little bit better. But again, we're not losing money, and it is fun to be an individual stockholder. So that has been nice. So that's it. That's how the portfolio is holding up. Now, number two, how did I rebalance? This is basically what I did when I created the portfolio. I just put $1,000 to be just to make it easy, and I made sure these were all even. That's how I got these numbers. So if you're questioning, hey, how did I get these numbers in the first place? That's what I did. I try to make it as even as possible, and that took forever. Hopefully, it doesn't take you forever. Maybe I'm just dumb, but it did. So basically, what you do, let's say you had $1,000 you put in this portfolio. What you do is, I think you just copy and paste, and you put it here. You copy this row, and then you put it here, and then you say, okay, instead of it being $1,000, right? Now I want to add, let's say, I think I was at 1,600, right? And so, okay, if I add 1,400 more, then I'll be at 3,000. So I want to be at $3,000. And so basically what you do is you go into AMT, and instead of it being at here, right? Or if this is at 1,600, for example. Oh, see, that's why I don't mess with it, because something's there. But basically, if you want it, if you add 1,400 and it adds to 3,000 total in that portfolio, then you're going to want AMT, and you want to have $121.77 in that stock. And that's basically what I did all the way down. And that's basically it. That's all you had to do. I just did it. And I only bought. So basically, what I did was, because some of them, there is one like IIPR. This one overperformed so much, I had to put enough in. Like, I had to put 1,400 in, or else if I didn't, let's say if I only put in, let's say if I had 1,600, so let's say I only went to 2,000. This is a perfect example. So IIPR was at like 80 something. So I would have to have sold like $16 worth, and short-term capital gains on 16 bucks, not a big deal. But luckily I do have income coming in right now. So basically I didn't want to sell anything at all. So I basically made sure that I put enough into the portfolio where I was only buying. Because when you rebalance, typically, especially when you're retired, you're buying and selling when you rebalance. You're not just adding. But since I'm in the growth stage of my life, I'm only buying for now. We'll go from there. One other thing that I'm thinking about doing as a video coming up is something called the chowder zone. I saw this on, I was going to say Redfin. I saw it on Reddit. And basically what it is, a chowder zone, is the dividend yield plus like the 5-year dividend growth rate. So if you had, let's say, a 4% yield and a 5-year dividend growth rate of 10%, that equals 4 plus 10 equals 14. And basically that's in the quote unquote chowder zone. So it's interesting. I'm so impatient. I kind of want to like do this right now, but I want to wait a year, just kind of see how things go. This would definitely be one that would go, and basically just the lower. See if we can go into it. Actually, this is an older one, but it'd be kind of interesting, like the yield plus the 5 years. So that'd be the chowder zone. 4 plus 14, so that'd be what, 18. So that'd be in the chowder zone. Uh, ABR, that's crazy. 11 plus 11. Chowder zone for sure. This one's in the chowder zone. Which one wouldn't be in the chowder zone? So basically, what wouldn't be in the chowder zone is right here. So let's keep that up so you guys can see. Um, Multifamily residential ESS. So the yield is about 4 and the 5-year growth rate is about 4. And maybe I could tinker with it, maybe the 10-year growth rate, or maybe knock down, since chowder is on the 5-year, maybe I do 10-year because I really enjoy dividends. But basically anything, let's see, 4 plus 5, nope, nope, nope. So all these would be gone. All these. And Stag is one that's interesting because this one's done pretty decent. I've heard NNN is a good one. This one's held their dividend for a long time. And Realty Income would be gone. So maybe it's not a good idea. I don't know. Maybe I'd have to adjust it for REITs. Again, I don't know. It's just an idea. But it might be better to invest in companies that are increasing their dividend at a faster rate. Even though, again, Stag, for example, if I go down here, this one has increased, or no, excuse me, they have barely increased their dividend at all. Like, this is their 10-year growth rate is horrendous, but their total return is not too shabby when you compare it to everybody else. Um, Anyways, enough about that. That's how I rebalance at the end of the day. Is, again, you can copy this if you want. I basically, yeah, you can copy that if you want. I can go in more detail in a different video if you guys really need to. But that's how I did it. Now, dividends coming in. Basically, if I go to here real fast, Robinhood, pull that up. If I go to Robinhood, let's go to account, and let's go to history. Now, if you guys saw, you guys would have seen the sneak peek. I'm sure you guys can all go backwards if you guys want. But basically, these are the dividends that are coming in. And it's pretty interesting, really. I mean, Realty Income, it's fun being, like an individual investor again. And what's interesting, I've noticed some of the companies now. For example, not American Tower. I've noticed CubeSmart. This is on the way my girlfriend and I play volleyball, and it's very interesting seeing the company on the side of the road now. Would have never noticed it beforehand, but now I notice it. Another one is not Essex. It's the other one. There it is. Extra space storage. I noticed this one as well. This one was right next to an old apartment that I used to live by. Never used to notice it. I mean, yeah, I would never have noticed it, and now I do since I'm an investor. And it's cool getting. And these dividends are small, but it's fun seeing it come in all the time. And I put it into my balance. I don't reinvest it. I kind of like it that way. And it's fun to just see your account just build up with cash over time. I just love that, and that's why we're all dividend investors. Last thing, if you saw, this is a sneak peek I was talking about in the beginning of the video. Options. It's pretty interesting. I'm not gonna lie. Now, I don't want to overwhelm you guys, because the reason I'm a dividend investor, and part of the reason you're following this channel, is because you're a dividend investor. And why are we dividend investors? Two things. One, we like cash flow, but the other thing, I mean, especially at first, I wanted kind of a little bit more slow and steady, right? I wanted less highs and I wanted less lows. I wanted to be more stable. That's why I was a dividend investor, among other things. But that's one of the reasons that drew me to it, right? There's other reasons, but that's one of the reasons that drew me to it. And when I first heard about options in income, I was like, you pucker up. You're like, oh God, I don't even want to touch that. Like I don't want to touch that. And that's how I was at first for a while. No one had introduced me to it. No one was like, hey man, you got to do this, or whatever. I just was like, hey, how do you make extra income? I always wanted to learn about options, but never do it. I just wanted to kind of have the knowledge of it. But then there is this YouTube guy, Pandrea Finance. He doesn't make videos anymore, but his videos showed how you could make passive income on the stocks you already own. And so this isn't even updated. Don't yell at me, by the way. But this April, I know it's May. I have not updated my April dividend. It's not going to be that much, but I made a little over. I think I made more than this. No, I definitely made more. I made more. I made almost $1,000, I think, in April. Now May is a different story. I think right now I've lost like 600 or whatever it may be. So again, I don't want to overwhelm you guys. This will be like a whole different video. But I gotta say, selling options, listening to Pandrea Finance, maybe I'll make a video on it. Um, it's not as hard as you think, and if you don't want to get into it, then perfect. You don't have to. I don't think it's for everyone. I just think honestly, it's pretty easy income. It's pretty easy just to do it, and I do it. I'm on like the lowest risk of the lowest risk. Like there's like three different ways, probably three or four different ways to do it. There's probably one where it's like not penny stocks, but like dollar stocks. So you can because with options you have to have 100 shares or collateral to buy 100 shares, one of the two. So it can add up a lot, right? So there's a couple ways to do it. There's one with like dollar stocks, which I don't do at all. There's one with like volatile stocks, like Tesla, and well, you guys know the volatile stocks. Tesla is a great one though, the options and stuff like that. I don't do that at all. Those are the risky options. A less risky option, but it's still options. But I don't know. I don't think it's that risky. Is doing on dividend stocks. You can still write options on dividend stocks. You just don't make as much. And then there's the last one, the least risky of them all, the least volatile, is ETFs. I write options and I sell options. And writing, you're not actually writing anything. You just click sell call at whatever strike price. You're not actually physically writing or typing anything out. Um, but I do the least riskiest option, and we'll see how this goes. You can actually make a lot of money. Again, May so far I haven't made. I've actually lost again. Like I think I made $1,000 in March. I'm down 600 in May, but it's still the beginning of or the first 10 days of May. So I have 20 days to make up, and still I probably will still make money. I guess at the end of the day. We'll see. Anyways, that's another video for a different time. Again, thank you guys for joining Stable Dividends. I really appreciate it. Comment, subscribe, like it, do one of those. It would be really appreciated. And subscribe is the biggest one. When I see that number go up, that's probably the biggest thing for me. But if you guys want to interact with this, I also love the comments because any of that kind of takes the video and the channel in different directions. So that's it. That's the portfolio rebalance. That's how it's holding up. Those are the dividends coming in, and those are a sneak peek at two different videos that might be coming up. One is how do I sell options to make income? Another one is should I switch my emergency fund from BIL, aka Treasuries, to gold? All right, appreciate you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.